Hello and welcome to The Corner. I'm the Frosted Glass and I'm joined by my fellow Alabaster Savages. I like boobs.
Maine is a flaky ass state. Do not go to Maine.
Not to be confused with dusty states. Moonshock.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about Maine, but apparently Jack doesn't like. Oh, I like boobs. Doesn't like it, so I'll rescind anything I was going to say. So instead, I'll say, look at the size of my dick.
Terry Diamantis.
I don't know these people.
And this week's special guest, the one-ton hammer.
I'm with Terry. I don't know who these guys are either.
We're just homeless people. We wandered in.
We're mentally traumatized by all the articles we've had to suffer through.
Dex
Maine
and
is the
chat.
Tron
Maine,
legacy
yeah.
of states. Shut up! That's not funny.
That's good, Dex.
Wait,
So
if that's the case, then it is the best of states? Oh, yeah.
So how are you guys doing?
That depends on the articles that you're going to be presenting to us.
Oh, that bad, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, what do you say we start with our first article?
No.
No, we're good. All right, guys, thanks for coming out.
Let's start with
all right.
Bye, everyone.
We've done it before. We'll start with the second article. That way,
Yeah.
Jack gets his wish.
All right, so the second article. Is it okay to laugh at racist jokes if your black husband does?
What? Absolutely.
It's okay to laugh at racist jokes no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, you're laughing at them because they are funny, not because you're a racist bitch. You know, there's a big difference.
Well, yeah, but he could be one of those blacks who doesn't know any better. You know,
Like all of them.
yeah. My ex-husband introduced me to the videos one day. Honestly, when the words mostoffensivevideos.com flashed across the screen, I should have known.
Who is this fucker? I gotta look. Is this a familiar writer or is this somebody new?
It's not one I've recognized.
I must
I'm
look them up.
just wondering about mostoffensivevideos.com now.
All right, yeah. Let's look at those for a while.
This is a good advertisement.
Yeah, can we look at that website instead?
Yeah, bring it up on the screen so we can get banned.
Hey, we won't get banned, just him.
Even better.
And the problem is
Okay, so I just went to mostoffensivevideos.com and it's not real. It's just, it says buy this domain. So, like, no.
Oh, what a
Aw.
lion bitch.
what a cunt.
My ex and I were talking about our childhoods, and then the videos came up. Maybe you'd have seen them yourselves floating around in the 2000s. Black comics dub... What?
Sorry, I found this person's. Never mind. Go ahead. Continue. I'll find this person's picture if I can. But she's a former blackjack dealer.
Okay.
Okay. Black comics dubbing gravely or squeaky voices over old Peanuts gang cartoons. This particular video...
Oh, I know what this is now. This is a Charlie Brown Kwanzaa. Have you ever seen that?
Merry Christmas,
No.
Kwanzaa.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's pretty fucking funny.
Wow.
This particular video was called It's the Great Dolomite, Charlie Brown. I honestly just busted up laughing. I'm not going to lie. Do yourself a favor and go read the comments section. Just wait, he said. This was all my friends and I ever quoted in high school. And then there's a quote from the video. It must be nighttime in Nigeria. Look at all these niggas.
Oh my god.
That was the joke.
Frosted giving it the Ben Stein treatment.
I put the link in chat if anyone wants to watch. It's the Great Dolomite, Charlie Brown.
Nice.
Oh God, I just found a picture.
And
of this
I
woman.
figured out what the issue was. There's no S. It's not most offensive videos. It's most offensive video. That's
Yeah.
what it says on the.
It's not plural.
Yeah,
Well, writing is hard. Yeah.
clearly.
That
Okay,
was the-
I'm going. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to put this woman's picture into chat. There you go. And I'll let you guys have fun with that.
That was the joke that stuck in my head the most, because two things happened then. My mouth dropped and I snort laughed because I was trying to keep it in. My eyes growing... Hi, son.
Oh my god.
Braniel in the background says, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
Ah! No!
Holy
No!
crap, man. Holy crap.
Aim it away from me.
That picture needs a content warning.
That picture needs a priest.
Oh, God.
I yelled in terror. Thank you, everybody, and happy Easter.
It's like if Carrot Top ate the author.
Maybe she ate Carrot Top.
Okay. Let's see. My eyes growing wide only made my ex-husband laugh harder.
Oh, yeah. We've seen what your eyes look like when they're wide.
I'd never seen him laugh like this our entire relationship, and we often
Looking
did.
you.
He was slapping his knee, curling into a ball, the works.
Well,
You have
if you're married to him, I can understand why he never laughed like this your entire relationship.
you have to admit it's hilarious, he told me in between gasps. Please watch them all with me. Please, you won't regret it. No, that's awful. Oh my gosh. It's funny though. You laughed.
You guys want more pictures of her?
It's your programming. Your programming is being questioned, except that your common sense, the intelligent part of your brain, is fighting against the programming. That's what this is.
I'll tell you what. I'll do you guys a favor. I'll give you another picture, but this is also from an article that is called "I Live with My Hot 23-Year-Old Sister."
Oh God!
And her hot 23-year-old sister is in the foreground in this picture I just linked, and of course, our author is in the background getting
Okay,
So there you go.
They're not related. They can't.
They're not related. Apparently, they're twin sisters.
Yeah,
Oh.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
no.
think they're triplets and she ate one of them.
One of them is adopted.
No, this is like the living embodiment of the movie Twins with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger, where Danny DeVito is the genetic leftovers. That's what this woman is. She is genetic leftovers incarnate.
I mean, if they didn't say that word, it would be a great joke.
Oh God.
My ex-husband
Which
cracked
word? She needs to tell us.
My ex-husband cracked a smile, still holding his stomach as he started to calm down from his laughing fit. You're lying. You know it's hysterical, Eve. How are we ever going to get past all of this if we can't laugh? I'm guessing you've never seen Eddie Murphy or Dave Chappelle? Of course I have.
Your
Is it-
husband is smart. You are stupid. Listen to your husband.
They're fraternal twins, by the way.
Oh, there's a shock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it okay to laugh at all? I don't remember much of what I told my husband after, only that I knew I didn't agree with him fully.
Oh God. God. Can you just imagine that conversation? Just don't even imagine the conversation. Just imagine the look on this man's face while he's hearing it from this woman.
Holy shit! Damn, baby, Mom should have swallowed from that session of sex.
Just imagine the soul being sapped from your fucking body.
No,
That's what
son,
this person is.
no, son. She can spit out the sister. Just swallow her. Yeah.
Kylo doing butt stuff.
Can
Wow.
babies be born from the ass?
Maybe one was born from the ass out to her, and the other one was vaginal.
Let's see. The issue wasn't mine to agree on, though. I can't speak for black people because I'm not one. But I do know that word isn't a lot of people's favorite, to put it lightly. That word comes with a lot
But
of
it's
pain.
my favorite. Don't I get to be catered towards?
I don't know. Are you black?
I can be. Just send me the ballots and I'll vote for Biden.
All right, yeah. They'd probably take that ballot.
Probably.
Oh god, this woman, she actually read one of her own articles, and it's actually linked in the thing. She's got a lisp.
Oh god.
It's horrible. Oh. And she
That
has one of
word-
those annoying kind of fucking voices too. Okay, enough about this freaking woman. I'm done. Continue.
That word comes with a lot of pain, which is what I told my husband, adding a "doesn't it?" at the end, because how would I know how deep that word can cut?
So basically, you black-splain to your husband.
Well,
Yes.
what do you suppose her?
Oh no, wait,
husband
sorry.
looks-
White splain. Sorry.
Now, what do you suppose that her husband looks like?
Black.
He probably
Uh,
looks normal.
Black.
Yeah. He's average black height.
Big lips, big
he-
nose, teeth hanging out.
Damn, baby. She goes, "You are my
He's-
husband, but damn you for bringing that toad sperm into our lives."
Oh, I thought you were saying "damn baby" to Terry.
No. Yes, because I called Terry. I used nothing but terms of endearment for Terry. Oh, Terry, babe. Oh.
Yeah, God.
Even if it's coming from someone who could say it if they wanted. According to the really interesting and kind of disturbing cooperative congressional election study of 2012, the earliest I could get data like this, a lot of people seem to be lax about the word. To summarize the study, in 2012, 31% of white people and 64% of black people admitted to using the word,
What
and the
word?
rest of them were lying.
Neither.
Oh yeah, yeah. Why do people need to be uptight about everything? Why do you need to be so fucking uptight? What compels you to be this way?
What are
'Cause
the odds that her husband is a simp?
Here's an idea: get the stick out of your fucking twat.
Well, she does mention that he's her ex, so
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not very surprising.
Based on that conversation you had, I would say that hell yeah, he ran the fuck out.
He probably didn't want to be married to a racist, is what the problem was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She probably kept trying to, teach him how to be black properly.
Yeah, what
You're
fucking
doing it all
arrogance.
wrong.
I don't think it's okay that anyone but black people say it, whether they mean it for good or not. Period. As for black people, who are the only ones who have a say, using it, some don't think anyone at all should.
No, they're not the only people who has a say as to what words people can use.
Oh man, son, she husband finally got his eyes checked and got glasses and saw her for the first time.
That was
Then
the
there-
whitest kids you know sketch.
That was also in Married with Children, where Al gets his eyes checked and then he puts the glasses on, sees Peg, and just takes them off.
Then there are those like my husband, who see humor in the word and use it as a method of progression, or try. Does anyone remember the trending interview from back in 2018 between The Rock and Louis C.K., where they both famously said the N-word on stage while bantering, and then Louis told told the audience he and The Rock, say the N-word on stage. The clip reminds me a lot of the videos and sums up the divide between how people feel about comedy and that word.
It's
Some
just a word. If you're
It's a word. It's not going to eat you, which is something that you don't say often enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about context. It really is, and even when you do say it, if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to stop myself from saying it. I mean, it's not like I go up to somebody, hey, what's up, nigga? No, and that's not the way I do things. Yet they're putting this big, what is it, stigmata
No,
on this word.
You don't say, what's
Stigma.
up, nigga? You say, damn,
Stigma,
baby.
excuse me.
Stigmata as if the word gave you Jesus wounds.
Well, yeah, see, it's same kind of context. Some of these people are acting like you say that word, oh my God, you're going to get hammered. No,
the
no,
word, the word
sorry,
is
hammer.
stigma.
I authorize the use. You're fine.
Stigma is like the social like cost. Stigmata is, as Jack was saying, the Jesus wounds on the hands and
Yeah.
Also,
legs.
I'm not sure you should make stigmata jokes on Good Friday.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Did everybody avoid eating meat today?
No,
I actually
no.
got caught. I ate meat during work because my boss bought me lunch and I totally fucking forgot.
Are you like a diehard Christian? Are they diehard Christians?
I'm not a diehard Christian, but if I I try to remember. I just always forget.
Yeah, well, cows are just too delicious to pass up. So,
Agreed.
see,
no. My
Some-
dad died on Good Friday, so I was cheated. He didn't come back after 3 days.
Aw.
I know, right?
Well, maybe the rock's just too heavy to roll away. Some people found it hilarious, and even more people slammed both Lewis and The Rock. Lewis for saying it and The Rock for giving a pass. And do we even need to talk about the very white Joe Rogan and his recent terrible choice?
Is
What
Joe
is
Rogan very white? I mean, his skin's not exactly pale.
Well, I don't know. I've seen that CNN clip.
stop.
But what?
You know what I'm talking about, right? They when they thought when he had coronavirus and
Yeah,
CNN shaded
Paled
the
him
video
up.
to pale him up.
Did they
Yeah.
really? my
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the same way that they always oranged up Donald Trump to make him look worse than he actually did.
But what about laughing? Can we laugh if it's coming from a black comic? If you find the joke genuinely funny?
You don't even have to worry about who said it. If you think it's funny, you should laugh at it.
It's a question I've wondered about for years now. Someone, please enlighten me. Some people
Okay,
are turning
I'll enlighten you. Grow the fuck up. Don't tell people how to live their lives. And if you really think black people have a say in whether or not in how the word is used, don't criticize black people for being permissive of white people using it.
No, but
No. Black people have a say as long as it's what she would say.
Yeah.
again, the black people don't know any better. She has to teach them.
Exactly.
Some people are turning the word into power, or trying and failing spectacularly, like when Larry Wilmore called President Obama my nigga and the internet had its say, not caring at all whether he was black or white. They were looking at the entire picture. The word is harmful, period.
Here's a interesting thought. Don't listen to Larry Wilmore. Dude is a shitbag.
I don't even know who he is.
He had he did a brief stint in. He replaced one of the Comedy Central hosts. It may have been Jon Stewart. I don't know. And he was just terrible, and they canceled him after one season, and it was just racial politics the whole time.
Oh, I just looked him up. I recognize the face. I've seen him before.
And what's interesting is, most offensive videos even called themselves out in Beware of the Easter Nigga, Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Now that would be something I would be very interested in reading, just to see what it sounds and looks like.
The exchange, which had my husband officially rolling on the floor and gagging for air, goes like this. Lucy, she said niggas. Linus, don't you motherfuckers know that the NAACP is trying to get us to stop saying the N-word? Lucy, doesn't NAACP stand for niggas arguing and constantly protesting?
Yes!
That's the best expansion of that acronym I've ever heard.
Sally, I thought it stood for niggas angry about Caucasian people.
Wow.
Wow.
Linus, no, that's wrong too. Charlie Brown, niggas aren't always cocking pistols? Linus, we ain't never gonna make it. At this point, my husband threw his hands up and hollered. I'll admit I was laughing hard too. The very first comment on the video is, "We watch this every Easter. Thanks for reposting, XD." The reply...
And then you flagged the video because you're a buzzkill.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The reply to this comment said, "I've been watching this video for years, and it ages more poorly every time. I wouldn't have it any other way."
No, this is fresh to me. This is hilarious.
And they were followed by so many more. I didn't even see one negative one. But I know this is not okay for a lot of people. So what is the right thing to do?
Perfectly fine for everyone. Get over yourself.
Well, that's the thing. She says herself she didn't see any negative comments, but she just knows someone out there would be offended, and I will be offended on their behalf.
Yeah, she has to virtue signal for them. She has to be offended for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because she's a narcissist. She's
Looking
a
like that, she
narcissist.
better goddamn well not be. Neighbors are always calling police.
I won't lie to you. Eventually, I did watch the rest of the videos with my husband. It made me happy to see my husband trying to hide his smile when I told him we could finish watching. And it made me happy because I realized how important it is to listen to all black experiences.
So this is the same husband that she's since divorced. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mysteriously, yeah.
George Floyd saw the video and couldn't breathe either.
Wow.
Clearly, even though comedy using this word isn't everyone's idea of funny, watching these videos seemed like a way of healing for my ex-husband, who I'd personally seen face so much adversity.
Like your marriage.
If watching these silly videos with his wife and laughing was his way of bridging that gap and making peace with his life, who am I to stop that?
You're a Karen. That's who you
Yeah.
are.
This is a textbook Karen. This chick right here.
And if he were to tell me seconds later he changed his mind, I would respect that too. Because everyone is different, and I think it's important to find a balance and understanding on both sides.
Bullshit. You don't respect jack shit. You respect your own opinion, and that's it. And this is merely lip service.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is like textbook lip service.
So yeah, we watched them. We laughed our asses off too. But you could stand to laugh a little more off. And
Yeah.
you know what? It felt good. But
God forbid something feel good.
I looked at the comments and not everyone agreed with her.
Expanded the acronym themselves. What do we got here?
Let's see, it's from Hans Delsoin. Just because a person has decided to ingest poison as a part of their daily routine is no reason for you to join in.
Oh,
Yes, he may have laughed at the
Please.
vile humor, but the laughter does not abate the damage done.
Oh, shut up.
Apparently it does. She said it felt good to laugh. Probably the first time she's ever tried it.
Stop and analyze the degradation in the jokes. The NAACP in specific and black people in general are put in a bad light. Racist.
Hold on, before you go further, Johnny Hogan says, "Do I need to ask which bitch it's in the medium photo? The author is the one in the background, but if you want an even better picture, scroll up even more to the first link that I put in there. She is completely, oh my god, hot as hell."
Racist stereotypes of violence, pettiness, and gun use are bandied about. The good the organization has done is ignored. With each laugh, dignity is stripped away. The use of N-word is an incantation of hate. People claim they are reclaiming it and taking away its power. Yet look at how it is used even by black people. It is yelled in anger. It is used to degrade and limit. In most rap songs, it is used to describe enemies, haters, the murdered, the foolish, and those that have been victimized.
Okay, enough.
I'm just praying that this comment ends with, "And yes, I am a white woman."
I named Hans.
Yeah. Sure, there are people that benefit and grow rich from trading and coonery.
There it is.
Wow.
I understand that dynamic. Every concentration camp needs capos to keep the wheels of destruction turning.
Oh my god, this guy is pulling out all the
Holy
stuff.
shit. Is this a Poe? Oh god.
But do you have to add your voice to the laugh track of the dam? In your other posts, you complained of casual racism. Well, humor like this spreads and normalizes such racism. It is a part of people's daily diet. You are what you consume. Racist garbage in, racist garbage out.
Oh, Jesus.
Why do I get the feeling that if this person had it their way, they would get this author banned just for making this article?
Oh, easily.
I mean, can you report an article that's actually been published in Medium?
Probably.
Well, she's helping to advance concentration camps. I mean, come on.
And the fact that she has a picture of a laughing black guy with those jokes in there.
This is like the very definition of a purity spiral.
Yeah. I'm not impressed.
All right. Well, with the end of the second article comes the first game.
Huh?
And that game is Sad Libs.
The best game ever.
Yeah.
Oh, see, Terry agrees.
Yeah, it's the second best, but I'm just sort of not thinking. It's the second best game.
And this is the game where I give... where I give 4 headlines for Medium, take out one word, and you have to fill in that one word Mad Lib style. And then the chat votes on which one is best.
You gotta laugh from her.
All right, so boobs, I need a transitive verb. I'll come back to you. All right, Moonshock. Moonshock, wow. I need a plural noun.
Just so we stay in the context of the last article, niggas. In that, and by saying that there's no racism involved in that at all. I'm just sticking with the context that we've had so far. So.
Don't ruin it by over-explaining it.
Frosted. Suck.
Transitive.
Also, frosted, that word has an ER in it, not an A.
No, he specifically pronounced it niggas. All right, Terry, I need a living thing.
I guess I'll go cunt.
Oh, God. Hopefully that works. With
Don't hold back.
And Hammer, I need a place.
Saturn.
Oh my God. Hammer, you're such a Puritan.
I am.
Suck niggas cunt.
You know what you're getting into, guys. I'm pretty plain vanilla, you know.
I think it's funny because it was just this week that Hammer was talking to Terry about his discomfort with the word cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, some words I don't say.
But I just like that our answers make the phrase "suck niggas cunt."
All right, so Jax is. Am I the only one who doesn't want to suck Madonna's face?
Yes!
Wow. Oh my god.
All right, and Moon's is. How to deepen your meditation with crystals and niggas. All right, and Terry's. A family secret. My dad is my mom's cunt.
Ew.
And Hammer's. Should Western governments pay for round trips to Saturn for black people?
Damn,
All right.
they're getting some mileage out of
that's
that.
a little more cerebral than the other ones.
All right, and I'll
Crystals and
start a
niggas.
poll in the chat so we can see which one is best. Okay.
There we go.
I think I would go with Moon.
Yeah.
I didn't like Moonshock's one. I think
Yes,
Jack-
because it's not ER.
no, I mean even if it was spelled correctly, I wouldn't think it was that great.
That
I think
is true.
Jack won it from the start. I don't think anyone tops sucking Madonna's face.
Oh. Well, at least she didn't have the S as an F instead.
There you go.
Let's see.
I think I may have won this one personally.
I don't know. Moon is in the lead.
Mhm.
Oh, Moon's in the lead. Yeah, because I was thinking it's either me or Moon. I would say.
Yeah, 25
World
votes.
is
He's at
apparently-
40%.
Jack's world is apparently filled with lampreys.
Yeah, all right, give it another few seconds. Oh, looks like that's it. All right, so Moon wins with 40% of the vote.
Oh yeah! Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. Well, now on to our first article. And that is Roe v. Wade is always at risk. But what about Brown v. Board of Education?
Okay.
Oh God.
And you can
Okay,
tell
who's
how
this? The Wicked Orchard.
you can tell how much she cares about it by how she misspelled Roe in the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brown v. Board of Education is at risk, but not for the reason that this author is going to suggest. Considering that on-campus segregation is a thing now.
Mhm.
It is literally a thing now.
The
So,
Wicked Orchard.
What? Except that it's just in the opposite direction from where it started.
Well, that's
So
good
what
segregation.
the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Even though Ketanji Brown Jackson is a Supreme Court justice, there are still very palpable concerns, since the majority of the justices are strongly conservative. In theory,
Is she a justice? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
what? Is she what?
Is she a justice? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
That. In theory, the Supreme Court justices are supposed to interpret the laws to determine whether they are constitutional. But with the current state of affairs in the U.S. government and political climate, my confidence in neutral rulings from the judicial branch is very low. Every time a justice dies or retires, questions about who will be elected and whether it will place Roe v. Wade versus Wade in jeopardy of being overturned arise.
Link to this person's picture in chat.
She does not know how to use commas, by the way.
Punctuation is racist.
It is.
And that is a very real worry, especially since the majority of the conservative, right-winged states have passed anti-abortion laws that walk up to the line of being unconstitutional without falling over it.
Damn, Ray. The author is the nigga version of the previous author.
Yep. Jesus Christ. What?
We were all thinking it.
The face is
Yeah,
puffier than the
it's-
hair. Kyler, too many ding dongs beer.
Is medium just like who's pissing in this gene pool?
Abortion clinics have closed, limiting access. Abortions doctors admitting privileges have been revoked, limiting access. Abortions after 6 weeks are illegal in many states, even though many times women are not aware they are pregnant at 6 weeks.
Why are women so opposed to going to a different state to get an abortion?
What?
Why are they? If it is so critical to your life that you absolutely must have this abortion, why are you so opposed to just driving to a different state where it's legal?
Or
Have
buying a
you
wire hanger.
have you not learned from the Rittenhouse trial that crossing state lines is evil?
There you go.
I'll be right back, guys.
And that is just a short list of the infraction against women's reproductive rights and autonomy. But there is another ruling that most don't consider when it comes to the conservative leanings of Supreme Court justices, and that is Brown versus the Board of Education. If you're not familiar, I will quickly sum up this landmark ruling. In the case of Brown v. Board of Education, the Supreme Court ruled unanimously that the doctrine known as separate but equal as relates to the education of school children went against the 14th Amendment, which prohibits the states from denying equal protection under law to any person within their jurisdictions. This meant that since black children have never had the same facilities and access to learning materials that white children had, causing them to suffer both academically and psychologically, then schools must be integrated to ensure that all children in these United States receive the same education. Furthermore, since separate but equal was illegal in a public institution like school, then it is also illegal in other public arenas like bathrooms, libraries, etc. Since then, segregation has been achieved in schools and neighborhoods. Wait, segregation has been achieved?
Well, no, she's going to argue that since the outcome is schools that are mostly segregated, they are being actively segregated. As in, the schools are denying black children in favor of white children, which is not how reality works. Sometimes disparities have causes that aren't directly related to your political leanings.
Oh, wait, I see. Since then, segregation has been achieved in schools and neighborhoods due to redlining, gerrymandering, and unfair loan and housing practices. But this ruling still stands. But will it always?
Unfair loan and housing practice? Guess what? If a loan is predatory, you don't have to take it. You don't have to live in that house.
No, it's their only choice, Jack. Currently, with the rampant and irrational fear of critical race theory, several bills have been proposed and passed to prevent its teaching in public schools. Wrong, it's, by the way. Even though no public school has been teaching CRT, and most of its opponents don't really know what it is.
Well, if it's not being taught, then what do you care if there's laws forbidding it?
I would say most of its proponents don't really know what it is. Just try asking them, what is CRT? You should educate yourself. I'm not here to educate you.
Without CRT, nobody would ever know about slavery or Martin Luther King or anything.
Without people actively telling me that I'm evil for the color of my skin, how would I know about prejudice?
History. Let's see. History is full of things to be celebrated and condemned, but never should they be ignored or removed from the public discourse. Nor should they be
Like
explained.
knocking down statues. You shouldn't be doing that, I guess.
No, that's different. That's bad
Yes, it's
history.
different.
Nor should they be explained in such a way to make anyone feel bad, because no one alive and breathing today is responsible for what happened 80 or more years ago. Now, with all that being said, think about this. When politicians in power who are conservative don't like something, they try to prevent anyone from doing it, whatever it may be.
That is only conservatives, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
left never tried to get anything banned.
Here's the difference, sweetie, is when conservatives don't like something, they try and get it banned at the state level. When progressives don't like something, they try and get it banned at the national level. You know, illegally. Because it's not constitutional for you to be pushing all this shit at the national level. But that doesn't stop you.
But it's morally right. We conservatives don't like abortions, so no one can have one. You could be pregnant, sick, and dying. Fuck you, have that baby. You,
Damn.
I want a t-shirt that says that. Fuck you, have that baby.
This is so disingenuous.
You could have been raped. Fuck you, have that baby. The
Jesus.
Nobody argues this.
the baby could dead inside your body.
What?
The baby could dead inside your body.
Okay, is that a new way of using that as an adjective or as a verb?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, you must have done something to kill it. You've got to burn.
No, women have miscarriages all the time. That's not the same thing.
No, the
it's,
baby, the baby could dead.
Stillbirth has been around for a long time. We know that.
Yeah.
yeah, but the
And
women
that's
are
why we
burnt
burn
for
the
it.
people who have them.
They're heretics.
We conservatives don't like these books about sex, race, slavery, homosexuality, gender dysphoria, or anything else deemed controversial, so these books must be banned. They must be removed. They must be removed from libraries, and they can't be read in school. Let's go.
Okay. How about this? How about stillbirths? We won't put the woman in prison or anything. How about that? And if the woman is subject to rape or incest, she can get the abortion. Okay, how about that? Now, how about the woman who is just sleeping around and is having casual sex with zero protection? Is there going to be any protection for the baby now? Are you okay? Are you okay if we make that illegal to get an abortion then? You okay with that?
Everybody knows that 99% of abortions are from rape and incest.
I mean, I'm open to any arguments about this. It's just that you won't argue honestly.
Well, there's another problem there as well, because as soon as you put something into place that says you're allowed to have abortions if it's rape, then every woman who's pregnant is going to claim rape.
This is a sidetrack, but why do they always add incest to the thing? Like, if you're raped by your father or your mother or whatever, that falls under rape. You don't need to add incest as a separate category.
Well, no, but I think that the purpose of incest is if it's voluntary sex, but you decide to have an abortion. And frankly, we don't want those sorts of genetic defects being introduced into society. I think that's part of it.
Or
So
you
what-
end up with
but
the
then
previous
what just-
author.
No, but then what you're saying is, if you want an abortion, fuck your brother. Like that's
Yeah.
the incentive that you're putting out there.
I suppose that's true. It's an interesting point.
I actually have stats on this for Florida about why women have abortions and the percentages at which they have them. Pregnancy resulting from an incestuous relationship, the percentage on that is 0.0001%.
Eight facts.
To rape, it's 0.001%. That's one less zero. The woman's life was endangered by the pregnancy, 0.003%. You know what the big number is?
Convenience.
Because, yeah, it was inconvenient, 75.40%.
Wow.
Yeah. So don't come at me with your it's rape and it's, incest and all that's bullshit. And the numbers don't validate that. Besides, if you were raped, why do you kill the innocent person?
In other words, fuck you, have that baby.
Yeah, when it comes
No,
to
it's-
if you're truly pro-life, then you don't take a rape out on the baby. It's not the baby's fault.
Very true.
Even at that, it's like I would like to get to a position where we could discuss that, but with these people over here, they're not capable of even getting that far because they only talk about rape and incest incessantly because it is their foothold to
Right.
start talking
Use this
about,
very
like,
small thing to go to all the big things. You're absolutely right. That's exactly what happens. And even
It's so-
incest is not something to be terribly concerned about if it happens once. Incest is a genetic process that happens over time, over replication. The first time that you have incest, there's very little chance that there's going to be anything wrong with that baby. It's the 50th time or the 60th. Look at the royals over in the UK. How many times do royals marry royals?
Mm.
Right?
Often.
Right. So where is the huge genetic flaws? I mean, if you've seen Kate Middleton, there aren't very many genetic flaws in that woman.
That's true.
All right. Hashtag abort the royals.
Well, also, hashtag if you want an abortion, fuck your brother.
Yes.
But I'm just tired of all the disingenuous arguing. These people are liars. They're liars and should be discounted immediately, but for some reason they're put front and center at every single corner.
Let's see. Yeah, that's the ticket. Who else in history burned books when they didn't like their contents?
The left.
You people.
We conservatives don't like the fact that American history paints white people in the past in a bad light for owning slaves, proliferating
No,
slavery.
we don't like that you paint white people in the present who didn't own slaves and whose relatives didn't even own slaves as slave owners.
No, all white people have owned slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a couple of them in the kitchen right now.
Yeah. Supporting Jim Crow, murdering the indigenous, stealing land, burning cities, lynching the innocent, interning Japanese Americans, or any number of atrocities.
Turning Japanese. Do you really think so?
It makes us feel bad. It makes little Jenny and Johnny feel bad for being white. Let's ban the teaching of accurate history.
See, dog agrees.
There's a slave revolt.
Savvy, enough. Stop.
Let's ban the teaching of accurate history in exchange for stories about the forefathers of the country being heroes rather than the flawed humans they were, as well as being owners of slaves.
God damn it, Terry. Hashtag your name is Toby.
That just reminds me of the Great Mouse Detective where the dog is named Toby. With all of these, so riddle me this. With all of these extremes becoming the norm in these United States, what would prevent some conservative think tank or nationalist website from finding a way of colorfully wording an argument in support of separate but equal?
Your entire worldview is colorful wording.
What, are you just saying that because she's black?
Yes.
Prior to 1954, when Brown v. Board of Education took place, racism wasn't implicit. It was not quietly kept, and it was not tongue-in-cheek. Black people were called and thought of as niggers every day of the week, and that was the way of the world.
Yeah,
It's also
well,
a different time.
that was hundreds of years ago. You understand? Let me give you a hint here. If that was actually a problem in the current day, you wouldn't be referring to it in the past tense.
She also wouldn't be able to have the freedoms to do these kinds of articles.
No, she'd be, in chains.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Black people, yeah. But decades later, dog whistle politics became a thing. The racist and
Mind
power...
reading.
Huh?
Mind reading.
Ma-
Dog whistle politics. Mind reading.
The racist and power-hungry figured out they have to hide their true rhetoric, so that it sounds benign to most, but gets the message across to the like-minded. This is a case where ignorance most certainly is not bliss, because if you aren't hip to the hip to the game, we could be legislated back into bondage.
I highly doubt that. And in fact, I can guarantee you that will not happen ever.
You would legislate white people into bondage before white people would legislate you into bondage.
Yeah, absolutely.
But some people like Scribe might enjoy that.
I see what you did there.
If anything, they're segregating themselves nowadays.
Yeah, and they're actually enjoying that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they're just in this case they're a victim of their own circumstances, and I don't have any sympathy for them. I really don't, because they're the ones that now want to be segregated from us. And by us, I mean like white folks, not. So, what do you say to that kind of argument that says, oh, maybe we should be separated after all? So does that mean all of the civil rights movement, all the kind of stuff, all the effort that was made, all the work that was put forth was for nothing if you want to be separated again? Tell me in what world that makes any kind of sense.
Well, it's racist to separate the blacks from the whites. It's progressive to separate the other way around, whatever I said.
Yes.
The whites
It's
from the
racist to
blacks.
separate the blacks from the whites, but then, yeah, okay. Whatever you say there, buddy. I hate people.
We don't want to be forced to segregate. We want to choose to segregate.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a difference between chosen and forced.
I remember one of the events to me leading up to me quitting Facebook was talking to an old teacher of mine, where he was basically he was like ranting about the white nationalist types like Richard Spencer or whatever, talking about segregating white people, black people, and I was like, wait a second, we already do the segregation of black people from white people. That's totally different. I can't believe how ignorant you are. I'm deleting this conversation. I hope I forget about it before we ever speak again.
Well, and that's the thing too. They're so easy to rage quit any kind of an argument when they find out
because
that
they're
what they're saying is
losing.
wrong. Yes.
Yeah.
So they have no argument. So their only choice is, well, I got to go.
Yeah, but they're the ones. They're the first ones to go for cancel culture over anything else. Because if you can't do what they want, then you need to be canceled.
It's the cult mentality. Anyone who questions the orthodoxy must be expunged at any cost.
Yeah, if you're not with us, you're against us, period.
That's why people like Rogan and Elon Musk are so delicious. It's because they can't be canceled.
Exactly.
Because I don't think I can say in chat. When I said brand of cheese, I was obviously referring to Coon, but
That's a brand name in Australia.
Yes.
yes.
No longer.
No, not anymore. But Jim Beam said if another Martin Luther King was born today, he'd be crucified. I said they'd call him a brand of cheese, because I don't think YouTube would let me put the actual word in chat.
Yeah. And you know that because you know they would call him a coon, because the fact is that every once in a while there's a progressive article that pops up. Martin Luther King was actually a socialist, because they don't realize that what we value from Martin Luther King was his ideas, not his name. But the thing is that progressives attach all meaning to names. They don't attach meaning to ideas.
You have to believe in the philosophy 110%. If you deviate from their philosophy, even in the smallest terms, here you have a guy who's doing his best to green the planet, electric cars, the whole process, a noted libertarian. But because he believes in free speech, he's the enemy.
Well, because free speech is the devil.
Right.
Mhm.
Because
And
that's not
didn't,
part of their philosophy.
And he says mean stuff on Twitter.
Even
Yes.
mean
doesn't
stuff
even
on
do
Twitter,
that.
he says it's not really mean. It's just not. It just doesn't agree with them. That's all.
Yeah, that's mean to them.
Well, yeah, to
Let's
them
see.
it's mean.
So let's see. So far, I've seen the one penny toothbrush guy from Target. He said that Elon Musk was going to cause World War III.
Yeah,
And
just a
then there
little
was-
hyperbolic. Just a little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a little. And then there was another guy who was in like a big national paper. I forget who it was, but he basically said
Max Boot.
that no, different one.
Can't
I would
see.
recognize his name, but he said along the lines of Elon Musk is parroting free speech ideas, just like every other dictator before him.
I saw that
Robert
article.
Reich.
That was hilarious.
Yep, that was Robert Reich.
He's
Yep.
a dictator.
Yep.
Holy crap!
Yes, he's a dictator. He is a dictator for valuing free speech.
You know how much dictators love free speech.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did you see that thing on CNN? I think Dave Portnoy did a tweet on it. So CNN Roundtable, there's 5 or 6 guys, and they're talking about, and a woman, and they're talking about Elon's move, and she says, Elon is trying to control how people think. That's our job.
Hardly.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen
No.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I remember
that's an
seeing that.
old. That's an
They
old
said that
clip.
again?
That was. Yeah, no, that was they were talking about Trump. That was a
that. It was Mika
recycled clip.
Brzezinski, wasn't it?
I almost fell for that too, but I read
The point
comments.
still stands, though.
Oh no, it's accurate. I mean, it did happen. It just wasn't yesterday.
It points to
wasn't
Trump.
Elon Musk.
But I mean, how come? Well, I'll have to play it back. But the quote Dave Portnoy has says, Elon is trying to control how people think.
Yeah.
So I'll have to play it back. I'll mute myself and play it back. But I think this is current. Let me play it back and I'll let you know in a minute. I'll mute myself.
They know that their ideas do not survive in without a vacuum surrounding it. It does not the progressive mindset cannot exist in open space, because the second it gets challenged, they flip the fuck out. They can't handle it. They can't handle other people's ideas. They must have
Homogeny.
Homogeneity, whatever.
Homogeneity.
Homogeneity. They must have it. And so they have to censor everyone. They have to censor everyone except their ideas. And they think that anything else
It's just a light.
is dictatorship. Holy shit. How insane, how insufferably unself-aware can you be?
Yeah, she's talking. They were talking about Trump. It was Dave Portnoy who said this applies to Elon as well.
Yeah.
So you're right. She was talking about Trump.
It only takes one incident, and then the rhetoric begins, where someone claims to not feel safe. There's a criminal element at their job that makes them uncomfortable. Their children shouldn't have to go to school with thugs. It should be one's own choice whether they live in a safe neighborhood or in a less safe urban area. Does all that sound familiar? It certainly does to me.
Because you're the one who made it up.
Yeah.
Of course, it sounds familiar to you.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. That sounds like the kind of stuff that, like, black college students say about white people. That they don't feel safe.
Yeah. Just get a spine. Get a fucking spine. All the world's problems would be solved so much quicker if these people just got a fucking spine.
That's ableist. Just,
Yeah. Well,
Snowflake takes on a bigger and bigger meaning as time goes by.
mhm.
It really does.
now it's time for the second game, which is for the chat only. Boobs.
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 And that is the caption contest, where I'll show you a photo of a political figure or event, and whoever comes up with the best caption, I'll tweet out after the show. All right, and this week, I just had to do it. President Biden shaking hands with nobody.
That was so funny.
That was a great video.
I was talking to Braniel earlier about this event, and I was reminded of Pac-Man, because the ghosts are coded with specific AI that tells them to go in certain directions at every corner. But there's one ghost, the orange one, that is coded to go in random directions
Yes.
at every single corner.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what this event reminded me of. Was the orange ghost named Clyde.
Or Sue and Miss Pac-Man.
Let's see. Oh, hi, Anne Frank. It's been a while. Maybe Clint Eastwood wasn't so crazy after all. Hey, guys, this is Corn Pop. I've known him for years.
Aww.
You were the better one, Bo.
Oh, that's sad. That's sad.
I like that one.
The Invisible Man accepts the Presidential Medal of Honor. Why you hiding? It's just me, Joe Biden. Let's see. Thank you for your bravery, Ghost of Kiev.
I like that.
Now a word for my son, Bo. Yes, sir. I understand, sir. Order 66 will commence soon. Nice to see my voters coming out to my rallies. Got to hand it to you, Obama. Biden greets his average voter. I thought there was a kid to sniff. Come on, man.
Wah, wah.
Finally, Corn Pop, get over here, son. Let's see. Give it another 10 seconds or so. Good speech, ghostwriter.
I was expecting at least one John Cena joke, to be honest.
Do you see me now?
All right. Well, I'll cut it off there. So, which one do you think is best?
I got to go with Dax for you were the better one, Bo.
Yes, I agree.
That's sad. I liked Spittlebuggy's The Ghost of Kiev one.
Hammer?
I have to agree with Terry. I like that one the best.
Let's see. I guess it doesn't really matter what I pick. It looks like
Majority rules. This is a democracy, bitch.
looks like Mr. Dax is this week's winner. So I'll just copy that down so I can tweet it out later. Yes, thank you. I know I'm live. All right. Okay. Well, congrats to Mr. Dex. And now it's time for
It
our...
is. Thank you. I know I'm live. Is that what Joe Biden said to his son Bo?
No, he doesn't know he's live. All right. And now it's time for our third article. Dr. Seuss is racist, and a great lesson on white privilege for the classroom.
I mean, I have heard the whole Dr. Zeus is racist thing before, so
Is this a new article?
Yeah.
April 11th.
Oh wow.
The right was up in arms shouting cancel culture after Seuss Enterprises ceased distributing books containing racist imagery during March 2021.
You say they ceased. They ceased. No, they were told to stop distributing these books. They were blackmailed into not distributing those books. It did not happen in a vacuum. This is dishonest phrasing right from the start. Fuck you.
They don't distribute anyway. Their distributors distribute.
Also, like, I looked up the, banned books and stuff. It's like, at worst, they have like a picture of a stereotypical, Asian or
China
something
man.
like that. It's not, it's not like racist.
So it's not like I like the sun,
Stereotypical.
I like the moon. I do not like that dirty coon. There's nothing like that.
Yeah, no, it's a picture of a Chinese man wearing one of those triangular hats and carrying chopsticks. Because as we all know, and in no point in Chinese history did anyone ever wear triangular hats or use chopsticks.
Never
Not-
happened.
Not to mention, this was from what, like the 40s or something?
Something
So
like that, yeah.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's not.
The rhetoric was baffling, especially considering critical race theory was and is being banned in classrooms within Republican-led states around the same time.
Here's the question: Is it really that bad? Because last I checked, they're not teaching critical race theory in schools. So why are you so concerned about them banning it?
Up in Canada, I mentioned to my high school students the way we examine the likes of Bell Hooks, Shirley Jackson, and Dr. Seuss would likely lead to my unemployment if I were teaching south of our border.
Good.
Yeah.
When it comes to anti-racism lessons for K through 12 students, Seuss's work has been used for decades, through stories such as Sneetches and Hortons Who Hears a Who. Like Tim Hortons?
Only in Canada.
However, these stories are highly problematic, and Seuss's work itself is complicated, which makes it
course it
perfect to
is.
examine white privilege and supremacy.
Of course.
Oh yes. Everything. It's like that clip. I think we were talking about the other week with Jordan Peterson talking to the woman about like how every single part of her philosophy can be perfectly predicted all the time. That's just this. This is just the natural extension of your complete ideology, and it is totally predictable. Everything is white supremacy. Everything is racism. Everything is sexism. Everything is homophobia, and you have to point it all out.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Your positionality matters when approaching anti-racism and anti-oppression in the classroom. I'm visibly white and in my mid-30s. My
She should be arrested just for that.
Visibly
I think
white.
it's to be white now.
Yeah.
I'm invisibly white.
Yeah, if you're visibly white, then yeah, you might as well just go kill yourself now.
Yeah. My demographic leans to the right in Canada, having made much of its wealth on the oil patches in Western Canada. My positionality in...
Wait. They're in Canada, so I guess it was at a Tim Hortons.
There you go.
Yeah. You just got the joke?
Shut up. I was one that said it earlier.
Let's see. My positionality in terms of teaching through an anti-oppression lens is complicated. Despite my skin color, I'm indigenous. I carry a
What?
status card which certifies me as an Indian. Our country is still steeped in colonialism.
Oh, you're
But
you're a real Indian, huh? Like Elizabeth Warren.
yeah, so I guess he's visibly white but invisibly Indian.
Yes.
My complete heritage is Anishinaabe, Metis, along with a mix of French, Belgian, and Scandinavian.
So you
Oh
what?
yes, the Scandinavian Indians.
I'm not saying my ethnic background. I'm not saying my ethnic background. Huh?
We will kill the buffalo. Yes.
I'm not saying my ethnic background qualifies me to be noted as an expert on anti-racism pedagogy. There's
Then
no
shut
way
your mouth.
there's no way I can claim to have endured any of the racism BIPIC people have felt throughout their lives. I recognize racism, of course, and we often look at texts in my classroom for an anti-oppression lens. I've produced indigenous films. So
Good for
films,
you.
films that were here before it was settled.
Well, yeah.
Films before the invention of photography.
Yeah,
Well, of course.
that's impressive. One highlighting some issues visibly white indigenous peoples face. I've also advocated for issues in my community. The work involved in anti-racism and anti-oppression teaching is tricky. Educators often shy away from it, frightened they'll make a mistake and face ridicule. However, not including it in one's course only perpetuates the problems of society. The work is hard, uncomfortable, and yes, mistakes are made. Teachers all have to admit our ignorance, accept criticism, learn and grow. We are works in progress, like society.
You can always be more progressive.
True. You can always hate white people just a little bit more.
That's right. So how does Seuss's work play into this? Why would we introduce a white author into the classroom when speaking of anti-racism, while some of his work is clearly racist? Why wouldn't we look for authors whose positions are more credible and whose works we have suppressed in our white-dominated society? My answer? Seuss is ingrained in our culture, a fixture in multiple generations of childhoods. We have adapted his stories into feature blockbuster films in the 21st century, nearly 50 years after his first children's books were published. His stories are fun and the themes are accessible. They are often an easy lens into a complicated issue. Also, Seuss isn't the only way to get your students engaged in learning about anti-racism. You must include others. I'm arguing that incorporating his work in the proper manner can be effective in the high school classroom.
So wait, is he racist or not? Because you're
Yes.
saying that he says he has all this all this quote anti-racist literature, but part of it is racist. Is he racist or is he not racist?
He's
Yes.
white, so he's racist.
While I was working on my education degree, I actually produced a short document.
You broke Jack.
I actually produced a short documentary on Seuss as part of a children's literature course. This was in 2016, and through my research, I didn't stumble upon anything that touched upon his racist caricatures in his work. First and second page Google results didn't bring it up. Rather, I focused on his Oscar-winning short films blasting Germany for its anti-Semitism, his troubled love life, and his legacy. He was
Tron
also...
Legacy?
Nah, I think he was straight.
Oh. Why you gotta be like that, man?
He was also publicly critical of segregation in the United States. That racist son of a bitch.
Yeah, bastard.
Meanwhile, his work also included caricatures of African people and Asians.
Oh my god.
You mean one caricature of an Asian, and it's not even that big a caricature. It doesn't even feature him actually doing anything. It is literally just a picture.
Yeah. It's not like it shows him eating a cat or something. So how do I use his work in the classroom? I've started one of my high school English language arts courses with... Wait, what? Why are you teaching race and all that stuff in English language arts? Alright. With viewing of the short CBS television animated special of Sneetches, a tale of star-bellied and plain-bellied creatures. To those unfamiliar, the star-bellied Sneetches dominate society, which takes place on a beach. But social hierarchy upends when capitalist Sylvester McMonkey McBean...
Oh my god. Are you really going to give us the CRT interpretation of a Dr. Seuss book? You fucking
hell yeah.
prick.
strolls,
I'm gonna shit on your face.
strolls onto the beach with his star-belly application and remover machine. Spoiler alert.
I love that they give a spoiler alert for a children's book.
Once the plain belly Sneetches get a star on their bellies, the original star belly Sneetches remove theirs, and chaos ensues as some Sneetches race to become equal and others race to remain superior. After McMonkey McBean drains the Sneetches of their money, they are left on their beach only to realize they're all Sneetches, no matter what's on their belly.
Wow, you might say that his machine allowed them to learn a valuable lesson.
Well,
Instead of saying, oh, well, he robbed them of all their money. Oh, so if he didn't show up, the status quo would have remained and nothing would have changed. Holy shit! It's almost as though capitalism provided a useful function in that book. But you don't want to admit that, do you?
No, it's always evil. My question to my class is, what's the theme, or the lesson learned by the Sneetches and the audience? Overwhelmingly, they declare we and the Sneetches are all the same, and we have to realize this to rid ourselves of racism and the hierarchy that racism creates in our society.
That's exactly what they declare, yes.
This is where the problem with Seuss begins to reveal itself. At this point, I make no mention of Seuss's problematic works. We actually examine other authors before circling back to Seuss. That's not to say my students are incorrect in expressing their interpretation of the theme. The problem is they are correct. That's essentially what Seuss is saying, and often this is the easiest/laziest way to teach youth the concept of equality. Focus on sameness rather than differences when addressing race is problematic. It dismisses the struggles others have faced because of the superiority of one over the other.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you to infinity! Fuck
and
beyond.
you!
And the thought that one culture has something to offer society while the other does not.
You do not want an end to racism. You want racism to go on forever because it provides you with purpose.
So basically she wants a version where the star-bellied Sneetches like pay reparations to the other Sneetches and feel guilty for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Her problem with this book is that it ends with everybody being happy and feeling equal. She does, because that is not her personal end game in all this. Her personal end game is for this shit to go on forever so that she can feel like she is at the center of her own universe.
Well, the thing is, if they got rid of racism, then yeah, like what would she have to fight against? And like
she would have no purpose.
Yeah.
If racism ended tomorrow, this author would wander. She would wander the desert like fucking Oedipus for the rest of her life.
No, what would happen is that they change the definition of racism again to recreate it. so that they could fight against something that's not actually racist, but we're willing to pretend it's racist so we regain our purpose.
Yeah, but her mother wouldn't fuck her.
This is one of the most insidious evils I have ever seen. Is this sort of behavior that, like, oh, we need to stop racism by reinforcing all the differences between us. It is so insidious.
It's at this point we dive into both white privilege and how pervasive white supremacy is in Western culture, particularly in the United States, which admittedly has a heavy influence on pop culture in Canada.
Oh my god, no. Wrong.
In an interview with Esquire magazine, Dr. Philip Nell unpacks this notion regarding Seuss's work. Let's see. I might just skip that. All right.
You know, I'm gonna describe a scenario to you. You have two people. One person hits the other person hits him back, and then the first person says, "Hey, you just hit me, so I hit you," and then it goes back and forth forever. That scenario will only ever end if one of the people says, "I am going to just take my hit and end it." That's all. If you really are interested in solving the problem, you will have to accept a loss.
No, but then,
And
then
the
you're
loss-
then you're one hit in the hole. You need reparations, Jack.
Yeah, and the loss is so obscure and like ethereal. It doesn't even exist anymore. The loss is so minor that taking it would not be a big deal this day and age. But they don't want that because they want to be able to hit. They want to hit.
Well, I did not hit her. It's bullshit. It's not true. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Jack.
How's it exactly?
You mean boobs?
All right, how's your boobs? My students are overwhelmingly white, and while I prepare myself for resistance when bringing up the fact they benefit from white privilege, and that white supremacy dominates our society, I face very little. They're empathetic and understanding. They're astonished at the depth of Seuss's work. For many of them, it's their first deep dive into literature through a critical lens.
Why do they always use the fucking word lens? That just sounds so stupid. Look at through this lens, kids. Lens.
Eventually, I get the students to imagine writing a sequel to Sneetches. How does the Sneetches beach change? Surely the Starbelly Sneetches have nicer houses, jobs, and capital, wrong spelling of capital, compared to their counterparts. How do we reconcile this? We then talk about Seuss and his credibility as an author. We look at the Lorax and Horton Hears a Who. We discuss capitalism and the environment. We also recognize that progress is indeed uncomfortable, and there are many resistors.
Can you imagine this person trying to write a children's book? It would look like Das Kapital.
And then half the Sneetches violently overthrew the others and had them all shot.
And then all the farmer Sneetches, the ones who were any good, they were the last to die.
And then the rest of them all
everyone
starved. Shirley Jackson's The Lottery is a great companion piece to this discussion, another text that's facing banishment in the United States. This eventually opens up the students to embrace differences, which primes them for discussions of reconciliation in Canada with Indigenous peoples, a focal point in education in our country. The rhetoric surrounding Canadian and Indigenous peoples is often one of having Indigenous peoples, who in comparison suffer from poverty, poor health, and incarceration, to name a few issues, catch up to the rest of society. Instead, the discourse is slowly changing to embrace differences and look at indigenous culture in terms of how it can benefit society. In a world
And good.
in a world dominated by a system that's not sustainable, be it capitalism and the climate crisis, indigenous cultures preach sustainability and a relationship with Earth and its resources that aren't dominated by a man versus nature mindset. While Seuss's work is problematic,
No. Swace's. That's his Swace's work.
While Swace's work is problematic, examining it from this perspective highlights the issues with the Western culture well. Yes, it's possible to be racist and anti-racist, to be progressive and have conservative views. And yes, it's possible to live one's life without recognizing this, especially if you ban critical race theory in the classroom, or
Which you
texts that
should.
or texts that critique fascism, conservatism, or anything that reveals one's culture is guilty of many atrocities.
Wait. You think that conservatism? Wait, what? Can you read that last line?
Let's see. And yes, it's possible to live one's life without recognizing this, especially if you ban critical race theory in the classroom, or texts that critique fascism, conservatism, or anything that reveals one's culture is guilty of many atrocities.
I'm sorry. I don't understand it.
I don't know.
Fascism and conservatism reveal that one's culture is guilty of many atrocities.
No. She's saying texts that ban fascism, texts that critique fascism, texts that critique conservatism, or texts that reveal one's culture is guilty of many atrocities. She's listing 3 different things.
Yeah, but she's saying that I think that the third thing is implied to be connected to the other two by the phrasing.
I guess, but I'm just saying like that's what.
Yeah, fine. It's. I guess it's kind of a. I'm just confused by the phrasing. That's all.
For myself,
It's a stupid point, but it's not noteworthy.
For myself, I wonder how long I'll continue to use Seuss in this way in the classroom. I wonder if I should neglect his work completely and look to other authors who can better frame the issues our society faces when addressing equity, differences, and progress. For the reasons I listed above, I believe Seuss is an appropriate lens for students to look into the subject. I also believe I may come to a point where I realize I've made mistakes.
Never
Like
gonna happen.
Yeah, probably not. Like I said, progress is messy and uncomfortable, but we have to embrace the challenge and the vulnerability it brings with it, especially as educators.
Whatever you say there, Cupcakes.
Willett Forge thinks this author would think Harrison Bergeron was an ideal society.
Yeah.
For those not familiar, it's basically a society where everybody has hard limiters placed on them in areas they excel at, so that everybody is equally unremarkable. So if you're
I've heard of that. Yeah.
if you're intelligent, you'll have like headphones that play loud noises so you can't think, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And if you're strong, you have to wear like weights to like pull your arms down, kind of thing. Yeah. I've heard about it.
All right. Well, now it's time for the final game of the night.
This is the best one.
And the best game of the night. and that is Poe or No Gender Edition.
See?
And this is the one where I'll give you 3 genders, two of which are from the LGBTIA wiki, meaning they're 100% real, and one I made up. And you have to figure out which one I made up.
See? I don't even have to see it. See?
And I'll even give you a short description of each gender.
Oh.
So, Gender A. Ultragender.
Oh god.
Xenogender that is powerful and of high status.
Hmm.
Gender B. Glucochoric. Xenogender connected to bouts of high blood sugar in individuals with diabetes.
Oh my god.
How appropriate.
And gender C. Subaquasivian.
Yep, I was right. It's C.
Gender that feels like an underwater city.
What?
It's crazy.
Wow.
So I'll start a poll in chat so chat can get in on it too. And don't forget, one option is that they're all real.
Hammer,
Mhm.
when did Frosted invite you on the show?
Earlier today.
Or do you remember the time?
Oh, Jack's trying to do some analyzing. Oh, excuse me.
Uh,
Boobs is trying to do some analyzing.
Maybe
Was it like
7? 7:30?
7?
Around there.
Okay.
Why?
I think
He's
it's
trying to work
B.
out if Frosted added glucochoric specifically because he spoke to you.
He's not
Congratulations, Terry. You are tonight's winner.
My defining factor, apparently.
It's seemingly.
I'm going to say it's B. I think that he Frosted was coming up with this shit at the last minute, and he put that one in there for. I don't think that he had that much time to find that, because that seems too deliberate.
He has all week to find one.
You think I find the real genders at the last minute?
Yeah.
I have a huge
No,
list of them.
He makes the fake one up at the last
Yeah,
minute.
the fake. That's what I mean. You make the fake one at the last minute. That's what I mean. Although then again, maybe you came up with this one for Hammer in advance. Or maybe you found this one in advance and said this will be a good one for when Hammer is on.
Good detective work.
We've solved nothing, but good detective. Good detective.
So maybe it's not. Maybe. And C seems a bit obvious, but you had kind of an obvious one just the other week. I'm going to say that it's A.
All right. Let's see. Moon.
I said C. I'm sticking with it. I mean, at this point in time, I think all of them. Hey, I can talk. All of them are bullshit anyway. So I'm just gonna throw some out there like random. So I'll like it C.
All right. Terry.
I'm thinking C. I think I'll agree with Moon.
Okay. And Hammer.
Interesting. I also thought C.
Okay. Chat seems to be leaning towards B. Only 16 votes. Huh?
Yes, people are just so blown away that, oh my god, this thing is actually a thing.
All right. Well, I'll end the poll there. Okay. And the answer is
What should be A?
B is fake.
Oh.
Ah!
Hmm.
You came up with it at the last minute, didn't you?
Kind of.
You
See?
motherfucker!
Although it was semi-independent of Hammer being the guest.
Granule says bullshit.
Semi-independent.
All right.
Somewhere between it has something to do with it and absolutely nothing to do with it. Semi-independent.
Basically.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the flags for the real ones. There's ultra gender.
Ultra.
which is a little boring, but the one for subaquasivian is probably one of the most creative I've seen.
Oh, this ought to be good. Hmm.
Ultra gender requires you to wear a silver suit and only get power from the sun.
Ooh,
I
I
mean,
kind of
it-
like that one.
Yeah, it looks like a
Slick.
thing.
It still has
It's
a paint element to it, but
It should have been a
yeah.
pineapple instead.
I
Should've
mean,
been what?
it's
a pineapple.
it's a stupid flag, but at least it's a nice picture. Kind
Yeah,
of.
it's not just stripes.
MS Paint.
Let's see.
The stripes thing is just further evidence to me that these people lack any real sort of creativity.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean, imagine if you got your own thing to do with whatever you wanted, and you said, I'm gonna make a flag about it. Well, what are you gonna put on your flag? Stripes, like every other flag.
The second one just reminds me of the South Park episode, sea people plus sea men equals society. All right. Well, now it's time for our final article. Why is it so hard for men to do the bare minimum?
Oh, yeah.
Hammer, I'm gonna let you take the front seat on this one.
I'm not sure, but I think I've just been insulted.
No, I mean this is the article for you.
Oh.
Wait, why is Kyler saying I'm on top chat? I have it set on live chat. Why, did I miss something?
Maybe it's when the chat was on screen. Maybe something didn't show up that should have.
Well, I don't know. Well, it's set to live chat. I don't know. All right, let's see. It never ceases to boggle my...
Hold on, Hammer. Let me specify because I don't think I made myself. This article was picked by Frosted in order to irritate you specifically. That is what I'm saying.
He always does that. The guest, the final article is always targeted towards the guest.
Yeah, but it's so hard to annoy me. Well, let's see. Go ahead and read it, Frost.
Yeah. Well, this was going to be in the lineup either way. But, yeah. Let's see. It never ceases to boggle my mind how often men fail to consider doing even the bare minimum.
Then it's not the minimum. If they're not doing it, then obviously the minimum is lower because...
Yes, as a woman, I have needs, as does everyone.
Wow.
Okay, someone has to clip that.
I have needs, as does everyone.
But let me say
All
this loudly for the people in the back, for the peanut gallery. Oh, peanut gallery is racist. That's a racist phrase.
And it's also insensitive to people with allergies.
Yeah.
And it's very dusty.
For the men and women, and for anyone in between, non-binary, along the spectrum, gender fluid, etc. Any physical encounter inherently carries more risk and cost for a woman than it does for a man.
But what is a woman?
I don't know. I'm not a biologist.
No, but like she said, like there's this whole spectrum that people fall on. So what's a woman? It's like
Nobody knows.
it's just gonna...
It's like the sound of one hand clapping, I don't just mean because a woman risks violence and unwanted actions, with a man overstepping his bounds in both subtle and not so subtle ways. But yes, that is certainly true, and it is significant. Even with a man we feel safe with, we risk a man overstepping or crossing a boundary or boundaries. We also face pregnancy risks. Women are Women are also more at risk than men of contracting STIs and unprotected sex. This is simply fact.
But men can have babies too, didn't you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is very transphobic.
yeah, that's true. This is simply factual. These are huge risks. Okay, say you don't have to worry about STIs because you know the potential partner and you are both clean/recently tested, or protection will be used. Again, even with protection there is a risk, such as with a condom breaking. Sex for women can often cause complications, in addition to pregnancy, such as UTIs. I say this as someone who has often suffered from UTIs. There are women who are susceptible to UTIs after any sexual intercourse.
Less about your. Sorry.
Ladies, after you have sex, please pee.
Mm-hmm.
Problem solved.
Basically.
I would just like to say fewer UTIs, more TMIs.
Let's see. Bacterial vaginosis is another condition that can be caused by having sex with a new partner.
So be less of a whore.
Could be having sex with a regular partner too.
Is it fair for women to bear the brunt of all these costs? Or to, or to disproportionately face these risks? Okay, life is not fair. Yes, we know this. Yes, of course, the fact of life being unfair and of women bearing more risk and more costs from any physical, intimate interaction with a man than he carries is not a man's fault. But as a man, knowing that a woman faces greater risks and costs, why do you approach women and expect time, attention, and most of all sex without doing anything in return besides offering physical intimacy? While I've evaded fully reading the 5 love languages thus far, I have to say it is shocking to me that men can see physical touch as a love language and not realize that a woman is more receptive to physical touch when accompanied by literally any of the other 5 love languages, which are acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and words of affirmation.
So is there 5 or 6? Because she said one of them is physical touch, but women are receptive to any of the other 5.
Well, she's not a math major, yeah.
Maybe she's an education major.
There you go.
If I, as a woman, am hosting a guy for an NSA encounter, the National Security Agency? How did they get involved? All right. Well, it's very safe sex. All right. That time and energy takes away from my own free time. Particularly when a woman has a child, and as in my case, when she is a sole care provider. Oh, she didn't have a husband. What a surprise. And this is true. And this is true for a woman who is a care provider for adults as well. Free time is scant and must be scheduled. To say that time is money is actually undervaluing time. Time is non-fungible, irreplaceable, while money is fungible, meaning it can be replaced.
Fungible.
But
The thing is,
to
like,
get
if you're going to explain the word fungible anyway, why not just use irreplaceable to begin with? Like, what was the purpose of putting fungible in the article?
Because she sounds smart.
but the point is that the man uses his time to get the money.
That's different.
If
All she's doing is giving you reasons why women are the gatekeepers to sex. Is because they have more to lose.
Correct.
So your argument is moot. It's irrelevant. Yes, you do have more risks, and that's why you determine whether sex happens or not. That's the reason.
Okay.
Evolve Potato is explaining the NSA thing. Apparently, it's no strings attached.
Okay. Well, maybe think of a different acronym, one that, doesn't sound like
Makes
a government agency. All right.
I don't know. At this point, I'm starting to think that Medium is a government agency.
Hosting also means I incur the cost of any food/snack I provide, the cost of washing my linens, and so forth. My housing isn't free. My upkeep isn't free. My time
She
isn't
wouldn't-
free.
She wouldn't do any of that thing, regardless. I mean, women don't ever clean their sheets, only when men are around.
Yeah.
So she really is advocating that you should be a whore, because I just read the next sentence.
So why should a man's access to me as a woman be free?
Yeah, be a whore. Get some money for putting out.
I just want to like be there for the scenario where like a guy shows up, on a date, he expects sex, and she's like, "All right, get out and work the fields for a while, and then we can have sex."
Well, I mean, is it that kind of marriage already?
I just like she hands him an invoice. Like, as soon as you pay this, we can get started.
We already have an institution basically where a man trades hard work for sex, and that's marriage, and that's like the traditional, man work, woman stay home marriage. The woman
a terrible
stay
deal for the
home,
man.
she gives sex, man go to work, man support woman. That's the arrangement. You are describing traditional marriage, you dumb bitch.
Yes.
No, it's NSA. Domestic labor, particularly the labor involved in child rearing, is not currently economically valued in our society. At least in the United States, where I reside, it is not. That means that I, or any parent, is doing a tremendous amount of unpaid labor. Yes, men are parents too, but statistically, the fact remains that women do the bulk of domestic labor. This includes housekeeping and cooking in addition to child rearing.
Yes, and generally, for generations, that's been the case. Why does that have to change now just because your sorry ass doesn't think it does?
He
I
is
mean,
supporting.
if she doesn't like it, she can go get a fucking job and pay for
Yeah.
everything, and then the
I'll
man
be
can
happy to
say,
stay at home. I have no problem
Oh
with that.
shit!
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stay home. I'll watch the kids. You go out and work, and then in exchange for your money, you can have sex with me.
I'll
"Mhm."
spend that three to 5 minutes it takes to change the DVDs and the DVD player for your child. That's no problem. In my pajamas.
It is also true that the last couple of pandemic years, with distance learning, work from home, and pandemic pods becoming more of the norm, have
What
put
the fuck is a pandemic pod?
I don't know. Maybe it's a Tide
I
Pod.
imagine it's this. I imagine it's this role. I imagine that it's this woman's entire life at this point.
Yeah.
Have put increased pressure on women and caused setbacks to the progress made towards equality between men and women in the workplace. According to the International Labor Organization, the more educated women are, the less likely they are to agree they have similar opportunities to men.
Yeah, because the education system brainwashes them. That's not news.
Called
Yeah,
indoctrination for a reason.
college-educated women think they're oppressed. Wow, shocking. This is even truer today than it was in 2016 when this research was conducted. I also fundamentally believe that marriage is an institution created by the patriarchy.
Oh my god.
I mean, it kind of is.
Hey, it's the patriarchy again.
That lovely excuse.
As I've written in a
Yeah,
previous...
I can believe that marriage was created by the patriarchy because men needed to protect women so that, the species wouldn't die. And marriage was a way of ensuring that, women were taken care of. I can see that being a product of the patriarchy.
Those
But
bastards.
Terry, now that the patriarchy is no longer in charge, the population rate is declining. Wow.
Imagine that.
And UTIs are skyrocketing.
Which university is that?
Let's see. As I've written in a previous article, reclaiming my divine femininity, ushering in a new matriarchal age,
Oh, we need to read that.
the patriarchal individualist model that views women as property and is based on the isolating nuclear family model, is not ultimately benefiting either men or women. Yes, women are more disadvantaged by patriarchal norms, but we as men and women are both actively harmed by such an individualist, pharmacologically deprived, as Terence McKenna put it, egocentric, competitive, rationalist, individualist, and materialist way of being and thinking. As Ryan and Jetha have argued in their controversial book, Sex at Dawn, How We Mate, Why We Stray, and What It Means for Modern Relationships, humans evolved to be promiscuous and polyamorous rather than monogamous. The rise of monogamy coincided with the rise of agriculture and humans being tied to the land. Furthermore, the so-called monogamy of other animals that we use to justify monogamy in humans is actually generally only romantic and not sexual. The proliferation of pornography and its drive to build the internet supports the idea that humans did not evolve to be monogamous creatures, and that, rather, we are quite driven by sex and sexual desires. So given that the myth of monogamy is finally beginning to crumble in our society, and particularly if you are a man who is not available or interested in being a primary partner, why then is it so difficult for so many men to approach women with nothing more than desire?
I love whenever these people argue from the point that animals do it, so therefore human beings should be like animals.
Well, human beings are animals.
Yeah.
We're not crustaceans. We're not insects. We're animals.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Insects
like
are animals too.
they compare us to basically lower life forms.
Well, there are no higher life forms. We don't have anything else to compare us to.
Mm.
Let's see. We are taught
It doesn't
that
make it right. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying it doesn't make it right. I mean, you could say, well, there are tribes in the southern Asian areas that are cannibals. Therefore, we shall be cannibals. You can't just take something that's true about something or some group and just swath it across everybody. It doesn't work that way.
Well, their culture is clearly better than ours.
Yeah, they're fine young cannibals.
Most
And it drives
animal
me
species
crazy.
mate for life.
We are taught that it is wrong to make romantic relationships transactional, yet marriage at its core represents the heights of a transactional relationship. In exchange for her commitment to a man, a woman receives support raising their children and traditionally financial support as well. So dear men, you need to do better.
Oh,
Dear
go fuck yourself. That's what I had to say.
Dear women, you need to do better. Dear black people, you need to do better. Dear Jews, you need to do better.
you need to do better.
My God.
Dear Asians in Dr. Seuss books, you need to do better.
Dear reader, each one of us needs to be more conscious and intentional in our actions. If you are a man who identifies as partnered and ethically non-monogamous, or if you are single, I, as a woman, and especially as a single woman and a sole care provider, need more than just your interest for company and sex. Women have more on the line than men.
So what you're saying is that you want to sperm jack us. Got it.
Women have more on the line than men. Want to talk about workplace mortality there, Princess?
Well, we make that choice.
For women, most of the time.
Yeah.
It's like, we need to work dangerous jobs to get money so we can get women. Is generally the line of thinking there.
Men, you need to show us more love languages than physical touch alone. You need to balance out physical touch with at least some of the other love languages. Energetics work both ways. Like
Maybe
my
you should
writing?
just give more blowjobs.
Like my writing? Become a Medium member today for only $5 a month.
Yeah, the answer to most of this article is no. We're not going to be like women. Sorry. We are what we are. You need
No,
to
we
do
need
this.
to-
You need to do that. You need to be better. No, we don't.
You need to be better, Hammer.
No, I don't.
So I think we all learned how to be better men.
Yeah.
But
Be a
whenever
woman.
we have
That's
sex
how to
with a
do it.
woman, we need to offer her money.
Yeah.
All right.
Women are both at the advantage and at the disadvantage. Between the sexes, women have a far stronger natural nesting instinct than men do. Between the two of us, women want babies more than men do. And if they don't act properly, they're not going to get them. Is what it comes down to. It sounds
I
to me like
mean,
this woman is just in a position where she has trapped a guy, she's gotten pregnant, and he walked away, and now she's bitter. That's all I got from this entire article.
Yeah.
There are trade-offs. There are trade-offs between men and women, and I'm sorry, but they don't stop at the neck.
Did you read keyword name in chat?
Yeah.
What?
We've got breast milk.
That was a good callback.
You can stay alive the rest of your life, Hammer, on that one food.
Well, that's all I had for tonight, gentlemen. So I'm going to shill out my co-host and guest. I like boobs does Quippers United over on his channel Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Are you doing it this week?
Yes.
Okay. And
Easter
Moonshock
Sunday, baby.
Moonshock has his Twitch channel linked in the chat where he plays games that aren't as good as Super Seducer.
Of course.
Let's see. Terry is on Six's Sober streams. He's on Johnny Hellcat streams. He's on Hammer and Johnny Hellcat's Minions nights.
Not always on
he's
Sundays, but sometimes, yeah.
all right. Yeah, he's on Quippers United. He's on this. Am I missing anything?
I
He's-
don't think so.
All
And
right.
he's on your mom.
And anything you want to shill, Hammer?
The Wednesday show, 9 p.m. Minions of the Zoo. Terry's there, and
Yeah.
my other co-host is Genty Maxey. So we actually have a girl on our show.
There are two nights of Minions that I will go out of my way to watch if I can remember, and that is Hammer's night and Harry's night.
He just likes to let her H. That's all it is.
Harry does a good show.
Yeah, and
Harry
any
does
with,
a good show.
and any with Sanguine.
No, I will actively avoid any with Sanguine,
Sanguine.
especially any discussion of whiskey.
With or without the E, though.
All right,
We need to
and,
get Sanguine on to explain it again.
yeah. And we there won't be an episode next week, but we will be back the week after on same time, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you in a couple weeks. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey,
Good night, everybody.